Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about ducks and their colors. We usually having white ducks, wild color ducks, or maybe Saxony or some other species. All of them are actually coming from the wild mallard ducks, and they could be crossbreed together. Maybe the most difference is the color of their plumage, and we are going to talk about this one. We need to know two things. I like to make some projects. One is how the genetics works, so some basics, and the second one is that is really important. We need to identify each gene, if it's dominant, if it's recessive, or how it actually works, what will be the effect. So based on this, we could work and do some planning. Most of the breeders, if they crossbreed their white ducks with some wild colors, they could get some results. Usually it's a black one, and they don't even know why it's the black one. So we will talk about this too. One interesting topic is actually the chocolate and the buff dilution, which are both sex-linked and are linked to the Z chromosome, which is quite maybe difficult to understand. It took me some time to understand, but I will try to explain like some easier way. We surely know the white ducks and the wild color ducks, that is quite common, and we might be surprised if why their offspring is actually black, not some other colors. Another combination, Saxony and wild color, their offspring is blue only. No Saxony, no wild. Why? Please see my color of combination from my breeds, from my plants. They are all coming from my projects, from my planning. So let's have a look on the genes. First, we need to identify the drake, the male, and all of his known genes that we know, and all of these genes are in the original states, that means wild. There is no mutation currently listed, so all of those that are capitals are dominant against the mutation, and those which are in a lowercase, they will be recessive against the mutation. Duck, the female, is nearly the same except the D and BU, that means the chocolate dilution and buff dilution. There's a difference between the drake and the duck female because of their sex-linked and they are attached to the Z chromosome. We will talk about this later. Okay, so let's have a look on the mutations. So the M got another variation, it's a restrictive mallard, and another one that is a recessive is a dusky mallard. So that means something that's a bit dusker or a bit darker. Next one is a light face and the light face harlequin. Both are recessive. They are equal to each other. There are some difference. What I've noticed that harlequin got like a darker or black bill at the females. And another one mostly common is extended black, which is a dominant against the original one. It extends the black plumage across the whole body of the birds. Another one, blue, that's dominant. There is a difference between one copy or two copies. If there are two copies are present of the blue, it's even more lighter. It's mostly known as splash. Another one is recessive white, lack of pigment that actually covers all of the other colors, so it stops pigment to be appearing on a plumage. Recessive bib and pattern, as far as I know, both are actually some white spots. One is a recessive bib that's mostly on the neck and the chest, and it's a recessive. It's actually varies a lot on a plumage, and actually it makes much more variety when we do some color combinations. The runner pattern, it's mostly known for the breed of Ancona, and it's wider white spots. In both cases the spots are only in white, so it cannot be changed to some other colors, so only the colored one plumage on birds can be replaced. Another two are chocolate dilution and above dilution. As mentioned before, both are recessive and both are sex-linked. We will explain and talk about this later. So have a look on our first example. As so we might know, there is a white duck and there is some wren like a wild duck, and their offspring is a black one. Why? So we know from the previous example, or actually the list of the genes, that the recessive white is recessive, so it have to be from both parents to take effect on a bird, so it actually stops any pigmentation on a plumage, so that's why the bird is in white color. So that means if this one got 2 copies of white and probably the original doesn't contain any, or it's not even maybe carrying, it could, but we take it as the original one, so there is no recessive white present. So in this case we will write both genes in the original status, so that means that they are in capital C. And here it comes, from the white one there will be a white copy, and from the wild one there will be the original one. The original one is dominant against the recessive mutation, so that's why the white will be hidden and will not take effect on an offspring. Why the duck is actually black, that's actually a question. I'm not sure like why there is a black color under the white one. I have no idea, but once the white is blocked, actually it's not supported from the other parent, the other colors can take effect. For example, if there would be no black present under the white one, the offspring would be wild colored. But as we see, there is a black plumage. It have to come from one of the parents. The black is visible always except the white one, so the wild color does not have it, of course, because it should be visible. So then we come to the conclusion that the black should come from the white parent. So in this case we will fill out the original form, the non-black, to the wild one of the parents, and the mutation of the extended black to the white one. So here it comes for the combination to the offspring, and we see and we actually know based on the parents that this black contains only 1 copy of the black and the second one is non-black. So that means if we are going to use this duck for other breed, it can produce black and non-black. Based on the other partner, it could produce white again. So we need to remember that the original version of the white is capital C, so that's dominant against the mutation, but the mutation of black is stronger than the original of the non-black. And a specificum will be that if both small c combines together, they will cover everything that is black. So they will be stronger than the black or non-black combinations. Let's have a look on another combination, and it's a Saxony. A Saxony is a combination of 2 colors, and it's actually one of the breed, and the original one that doesn't contain any of the color mutations. And their offspring is blue. Why only blue? Why there is no Saxony or wild? We will talk about this. So, as we know, the Saxony contains 2 copies of blue that both actually dominance, and they are making effect of the plumage is lighter than if it would be only 1 copy. And there is a light phase present. This is a recessive gene. So we need to fill out these genes to the original one, to the wild one, and so we will fill out the non-blue combination, and of course the non-light phase, so that's why they are capital, because this is the original state of the recessive light phase. We will combine them together, so a light phase, blue, a non-light phase, and actually a non-blue. So here the mutation of the light phase will be hidden under the original, but the blue will take effect. So that's why the plumage is blue. Light phase is weaker than the original status, but the blue as a mutation of a lighter color is stronger than the original status. And what about another one? It's a white one and a Saxony. Both actually got two colors combinations already, and we will need to combine them and come to the offspring. What will be their colors? So, as we know, the white is double C and double E, as it contains extended black, as we got already some black offspring from them. Of course, there is an option that they don't contain the black, or they contain something else. But normally, mostly what I've seen, they contain the black one. The Saxony, as we identified, contains two copies of blue and a light phase. How do we combine these four genes together? Of course, we need to fill out the rest for each other. So for the white one, we will fill out the non-blue and the non-light. For the Saxony, we will fill out the non-black and the non-white. So we will combine the genes together. And based on this, we will then calculate which of the genes will take effect in the first generation and which of the genes will be only carried for the maybe next combination. So from this we see that the light phase, as a recessive mutation, will be covered by the original. The black one will appear. The blue will take effect, but the C will actually be hidden. So the result is black and blue that are combined together. If we are using this specimen for the next breed, all of these genes can be carried over, of course, and they can be combined, and the offspring could be different again based on the other partner. So let's look on something else, on a brown one. That's the chocolate dilution. It actually affects the buff dilution as well. So take a brown drake with a wild female. We put them together and let's have offspring. So as we see, the drakes, the sons, will be actually in a wild color and the females will be brown. Okay, so as we may see that the sons are based on their mother and the daughters are based on the father. So let's swap them and use a wild colored drake and a brownie female. We put them together, have some babies, and the females will be wild colors as the father. Okay, and will we get brownish sons based on the mother? Unfortunately, no. The sons will be the same color as wild as the father and as their sisters, because this is not how it works for the brown color. And here you may ask why. Where is the brown? So let's talk about this a bit deeper. For this topic to understand how it works on a sex-linked chromosome, we need to fill out the mutations, the genes, and of course the chromosomes. So for the males, it's double Z, and for the female is Z and W. That means actually for the birds there is a female who sets actually the gender of their babies. It's a reverse against the mammals, as we might know. So here is the female who is setting up the gender. So the D as a recessive brown mutation is only on the chromosome Z. So if we split the chromosomes, so he will give the Z with a brown colors to his sons and to his daughter as well, and the female gives the chromosome Z with the original non-brown to his sons, to her sons. So that will create him as a double Z, so that's male, but contains only one copy of the brown that will be hidden under the original. So that's why the Drake son will not be brown. He will only carry it. The daughter received the Z with color brown from her father, and from the mother side he will receive the W that will set her gender to be female, and there is like no gene to this brown one. So that's why there will be nothing to block the brown to take effect. In the other example, or when we swapped the male and female with the colors, the wild Drake will give the Z with the original D, so that means non-brown, to his son and to his daughters. Mother will give the Z with the D color, that means with the brown one, to his sons, but it's the same result as the previous one. It's too few for the brown to take effect. It's blocked by the original one. And the brown female will give to her daughter W with actually nothing. So there is no gene for the brown one. So she is giving the brown color only to her sons. So the daughter, regardless she is a daughter of the brown female, she doesn't receive anything with the brown. So she is not even carrying it. So that's why both are in wild colors. Daughter is not even carrying the brown, but the sons, yes. So let's continue. So there is a question how the brown Drake will appear. So let's take the Drake that carries the one brown gene, and the other one is non-brown, and he's a wild color with a brown duck. Let's put them together and let's check out the results. So he got 2Z with 1D as original, and the second one is the brown one that is carried, but it's not taking the effect on the plumage of the Drake. The female got Z and a W with the brown one, and the second is actually missing. So let's put them together. So the Drake will give the Z with original non-brown, and the female gives the W with no colors. So that means that creates a wild colored female based on a Z and W and with no brown gene. If the Drake gives Z with non-brown and the female gives the Z with brown, it will be once again the wild colored Drake as the father. Actually, he is carrying the brown, and we know that he does contain one brown because there is nothing else the mother could give him. Let's look at the third combination, when the father gives the Z with a small d, so with the brown, and the mother gives the W with no colors, it will be brown again. So the brown female can only has brown daughters when the brown comes from the father. Let's look at the fourth combination. Father gives the Z with brown, mother gives the Z with brown, so it will be double Z, so it's a Drake, it's a male, and it's brown. So that's how the brown Drake can be created. That easy. Thanks for watching and see you next time. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time.